to get started on part D, but first, we're going to talk about buffers. So, what a buffer solution is, for example, if we have a weak acid, every weak acid is going to have a conjugate base. So the buffer solution for that weak acid will be its conjugate base. Or vice versa, if we have a weak base, its buffer solution will be its conjugate acid. So, what a buffer solution does is it's going to decrease the effects of an acid or a base that we're adding on the pH. So, if we have, for example, the buffer solutions, they resist changes in pH upon additions of small amounts of acid or base. So if we have a solution with a lot of buffer solution in it, and we add some acid in it, the pH isn't going to change nearly as much as if we just have a cup of water and we add some acid into it. So that's what we're going to see in part D. So when we did part D, what we did first is we had a weak acid with some buffer solution in it, and we took its pH. Then we added some strong acid to it. After the addition of strong acid, we noticed that the pH it changed, but it didn't really change that much. So it was slightly lower than our original pH, but it wasn't that much lower. So then we did the same solution, but we added sodium hydroxide, our strong base. And if there was no buffer solution, you would expect that pH to rise a whole bunch because it's getting more basic. But because we have the buffer solution in it, it only rose by only a little bit. And that was because of the buffer solution. Comparing it to our pure water solutions, when you take the pH of pure water, it's supposed to be around 7, right? Neutral. When we added our HCl, our pH dropped substantially. So we're around like 2 right now when we add that HCl to the water because there's no buffer solution present to buffer the pH change. Same thing when we added our strong base of sodium hydroxide. The first pH of that water was around 7. Then we added some sodium hydroxide. Now our pH is around 12, 13 because there's no buffer there to control the pH change. So that's pretty much buffer solutions when it comes to pH values of our solutions with a buffer versus without a buffer.